All right, I've been asked to have a look at this one here, and the instructions are complete the square to find the coordinates of the turning point. All right, so let's have a look at doing that. So completing the square is nice and straightforward. So all we're going to do is rewrite this. I'm going to say x squared minus 16x. I'll put the plus 45 over here. And all I'm going to do is take the b term, which is negative 16. I'm going to add it to here, and I'm going to subtract it from here. So the net result is 0. I haven't really done anything. So the b term is negative 16. I'm going to halve it and square it. It's negative 16. I'm going to halve it and square it. And because I'm adding it, and because I'm then subtracting exactly the same thing, I haven't actually done anything in particular to it. All right, now we can work our magic. And this bit here, that bit there, happens to turn into a completed square. I put an x here and a squared here, and the bit inside the brackets here, which is negative 16 on 2, or if you like, negative 8, is the completed square. I've now got this bit here, which I'm going to resolve, excuse me, which is 45, minus, well, I've got 16 on 2, all squared, it's negative, which is 8 squared, which is 64. So I've got 45 minus 64. Now, lots of ways, of course, of doing all this. Now, what am I doing here? Right. So let's say, for example, and it depends whether you're actually solving for x, but we're not really solving. We're just going to say, well, if we've got the 45, we take away the 64. So now we're going to have an x minus 8. And this is for 45 minus 64. Minus 19. So all this means now is we've got a y value and we've got our completed square. So if we were to plot this, let's do it now. We've got, here's our graph. The graph is going to be a negative 8, which means it's going to be on the positive side. So it's going to be plus 8. Now I'll just put an 8 here. And that 8 there is this plus 8 here. And we're going to drop it 19. So it means it's going to be 8 across to the right and 19 down. So here, this is going to be 8. And this is not to scale, obviously. But it's negative, so it's 8 across, and it's minus 19 down. And that is where, that is the graph there. Now, in terms of where it actually crosses things, you can see here, it's going to cross the y-axis at 45. In other words, when x is 0, excuse me, y would be 45, because if I just crossed out that and crossed out that, y is going to be 45. So this is going to cross up here at, and I'll put here, 45. So it's all a bit dodgy, really. You can see it's not to scale at all. But it's going to look something like this. It's going to come down here. It's going to turn around here. And it's going to head back up like that. So you've got your x and your y. You've got x values and so on. And you've got your coordinate here. So you want to say this is a minimum at 8, negative 19. So that's how to complete the square. And that's how to use the completed square to graph the parabola. And of course, this is your axis of symmetry, which is your x is equal to 8. And you want to say axis of symmetry. You also want to say minimum at blah, blah, blah. And you probably want to label the graph as well. This is going to be y is equal to x squared minus 16x plus 45. And that's how I would do that.